Hello, uh, welcome to the list of colored heavyweight champions. And before this video starts, I want to thank BL for sending me that list of Sam Langford's defenses. And another thing is, I found out that at one point claims split for this colored heavyweight championship. Joe Jeanette beat Sam Langford, then shortly after that, Sam McVeigh beat Sam Langford, so Sam McVeigh and Joe Jeanette both have claims over the coloured title. So later in the video I'm going to just go through the list of that alternate claim. And only 3 people held that alternate claim before Joe Jeanette's claim and Sam McVeigh's claim became unified. So then it was an undisputed coloured heavyweight championship. So let's get started. The first coloured heavyweight champion was Charles C. Smith all the way back in 1876, and he held it till 1878. And the exact dates of when he won and lost the title are unknown, and no official title defences are known. Charles C. Smith lost it to Morris Grant. Yes, that is his record. That's the record of fights that we've found anyway, and Morris Grant held the title from 1878 to January 14th, 1881. The exact date of when he won the title is unknown, and he made no official title defences. The next coloured heavyweight champion was Charles Hadley, who reigned from January 14th, 1881 to February 23rd, 1883. And he made 3 official defences in those 2 years. After that, George Old Chocolate Godfrey, there's another George Godfrey to come later, held the title from February 23rd, 1883 to August 28th, 1888. Despite holding the title for 5 years, he made 2 official defences in that time. And he lost it to the great Peter Jackson, who reigned from August 24th, 1888 to 1896. He made 1 defence in those 8 years, and because he'd made no defences and I think he retired in 1896, the title was vacated. And on December 21st, 1896, Bob Armstrong laid claim to the title, and he lost the title on January 29th, 1898, making 2 official defences in that time. Frank Giles was the next coloured heavyweight champion, and he held the title from January 29th, 1898 to September 14th, 1898. He only had it for a few months, and he made 2 defences in that time. He lost it to George Byers, who held the title from September 14th, 1898 to March 16th, 1901, and he made 1 defense in that time. And for anyone that doesn't know, back then, in those times, you could organize a fight, so if it went the distance, it would automatically be called a draw. That's why there's so many draws on his record. Frank Giles becomes the first to ever regain the Coloured Championship, so if you're counting the Coloured Championship as a world title, then Frank Giles is the first person to ever regain a heavyweight championship. Giles held the title from March 16th, 1901 to February 24th, 1902, making no official defences in that time. Next is Denver Ed Martin, who from February 24th, 1902 to February 5th, 1903, made 4 official defences in just under a year. and he lost the title to Jack Johnson on February 5th, 1903, and Johnson held it till December 26th, 1908. And he vacated the title when he won the heavyweight championship of the world from Tommy Burns, as Johnson was calling the color line and they did not consider him champion. And because Johnson vacated the title, Sam McVeigh laid claim to the title when he beat Joe Jeanette on February 20th, 1909 to April 17th, 1909, making one defense in that time. And he lost it back to the man he'd won it from, Joe Jeanette, who held it from April 17th, 1909 to July 13th, 1909. And Jeanette vacated it because he never made an official defense and because Sam Langford laid claim to the title because Jack Johnson had refused to face him. So from July 13th, 1909 to December 26th, 1911, Sam Langford, the greatest boxer of all time, made 10 defenses of the colored title. He lost it to Sam McVeigh, who is the second to regain the title, and from December 26, 1911 to April 8, 1912, McVeigh made no official defenses. He lost it back to Sam Langford, who from April 8, 1912 to April 13th, 1915 made 16 defenses. That brings Langford up to a total of 26 defenses. Joe Jeanette becomes a champion or colored champion for the second time, and from April 13th, 1915 to May 12th, 1916, he made 2 defenses of the colored title. And Sam Langford becomes the first, and I think he's the only 3-time colored champion, and he held it from May 12th, 1916 to January 25th, 1917, making 4 defenses in that time. I think that's 30 defenses that Langford is at now. Langford lost it to Big Bill Tate, who has an indifferent looking record, and from January 25th, 1917 to May 1st, 1917, Bill Tate made no official defenses because Sam Langford took his title back for the 4th time. And this is the last time he holds this title because he also holds the alternate claim, which we'll get into later. So from May 1st, 1917 to April 14th, 1918, Langford makes another 3 defenses, giving him a total of 33 title defenses. And he lost it to Harry Wills, and you may realise I wrote second time there. That's not a mistake, because Wills held the alternate claim. From April 14th, 1918 to October 12th, 1926, Wills made 23 defenses of the colored title, and it was considered vacant after he lost by disqualification to Jack Sharkey. And I've heard stories that Sam Langford was in Jack Sharkey's corner giving him advice. George Godfrey picked up the title on November 8th, 1926, and he lost it on August 15th, 1928, and he made 2 defenses in that time. He lost it to Larry Gaines on August 15th, 1928, who vacated the title in December 1928, and Gaines made 1 defense in that time. George Godfrey picked up the title again from the vacancy, and from August 24th, 1931 to October 9th, 1933, he made 2 defenses. Obie Walker won the title on October 9th, 1933, and held it until July 20th, 1935, never making an official defense as far as my knowledge goes. Larry Gaines becomes a champion for the second time from July 20th, 1935 to June 22nd, 1937. He made no official defenses. And in June 1937, the color title becomes unnecessary because Joe Louis became heavyweight champion and black people were fighting for the heavyweight championship on the regular. So, about that alternate claim. I've already explained that McVeigh beat Sam Langford shortly after Jeanette, so he laid claim to the title. So this would be McVeigh's third time holding the title. So from June 29th, 1915 to September 7th, 1915, he made no defenses. Harry Wills won the title from McVeigh on September 7th, 1915, and he lost it on February 11th, 1916, making two defenses in those few months, and he lost it to Sam Langford, who from February 11th, 1916 to May 12th, 1916 made 6 defenses. That's 39 total defenses Langford has made. And this alternate claim came to an end quickly because Langford fought Joe Jeanette for both claims of the title and won. So he unified claims. That's it.